On the final day of 2021, we look back on what was the most difficult season to be a Raptors fan in quite a long time. We go through some of the biggest events of the year and discuss the brighter future on the way for fans in 2022. Let's get into it. Welcome NBA and Raptors fans. This is Amateur Hour Sports, the channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors at least 4 times a week. So if it's your first time here with me today and you like what you see, want more of myself talking about the NBA and Raptors videos and content just like this, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Help us on a road to 8,000 subscribers, and let's start off the new year with a bang. But today's video, we're going to talk about the events that transpired over the course of 2021 that shaped the year for the Raptors, a lot of which is going to be the stuff that happened on the latter end of the previous season that all led us up to today, December 31st, the last day of, again, it was a pretty tough year to be a Raptors fan, but I think there are brighter things to look at. But in order to have those bright things in the future, we had to have a lot of darkness from the last season, because obviously we did not finish the way we wanted to finish the last season. I think Raptors fans would have expected that season to end with at least playoffs. You know, after being the 2 seed just 2 seasons ago, we were expected to be back in the playoffs, and that just didn't quite materialize. A lot of factors really played into that, obviously playing in Tampa for the full season. But regardless of all that, things did not go the way we wanted to go. So what we're going to do over the course of this video, I'm going to give you the key dates over the course of the year, and then we are going to discuss how those key dates are going to shape a brighter and better future and what you have to look forward to in 2021. So starting with 1 year ago today, December 31st, the Raptors beat the New York Knicks 100-83. It was the Raptors' first win of the season after starting 0-3. And it kind of seemed like 1 year ago, that was really the turning point for the team. It was a tough start, but we thought we would get back on track. But obviously, that did not materialize, because as we progress further, on January 11th, the Raptors lost 112-111 to the Portland Trailblazers to start the season 2-8. This was the second game in a row where Pascal Siakam had a buzzer beater to win the game rim out after missing one either the day before or 2 days before against the Golden State Warriors. The Raptors at 2-8, and fans, we were really starting to panic at that point. February 2nd, though, Fred VanVleet drops a franchise record 54 points in one game against the Orlando Magic. Again, that is the most points ever scored in a single game by a Toronto Raptors. So even though there were some dark times, there were some bright times as well. March 3rd, Raptors, they got blown out 129-105 by the Detroit Pistons. This was just days after 5 players were out for health and safety protocols, and it started that horrible month of March where the Raptors only actually won 1 game. And that started a 9-game losing streak. That 9-game losing streak went all the way up to March 22nd, when the Raptors ended the Houston Rockets' 19-game losing streak. It was probably the most rock bottom feeling I have ever felt in any time I have been involved in sports. Losing to that Houston Rockets team, that was absolute rock bottom. Any team, any league. I think that is the worst I've ever felt as a fan. I'm not even joking. We lost to the Rockets again. They're on that 19-game losing streak, and they beat us 117-99 as well. But things maybe started to look a little bit better. March 24th, the Raptors, they blew out the Nuggets 135-111. This was what we thought was going to be the final game for Kyle Lowry in his Raptors career. In fact, Kyle Lowry himself thought this was going to be his last game for the Raptors, as he cried as he exited the floor. But it turned out it wasn't his last game, but it was Norman Powell's final game for the Raptors. He was traded a day later to the Trailblazers in exchange for Gary Trent Jr. on March 25th. So I think at this point in the season, Raptors fans were really starting to understand that this season wasn't going to go the way we wanted it to go, and we were just going to accept our fate as we were a team looking to get a good pick in the draft. On May 2nd, the Raptors visited the Staples Center and won 121-114 against the Lakers. It would be an absolutely outstanding Kyle Lowry performance in his final game for the team, as he put up 37 points and 11 assists on 12 for 20 shooting, and he bowed out then as the greatest, the undisputed greatest Raptor of all time. Pascal Siakam also dropped 39 points this game. An absolutely outrageous game against the Lakers. The Raptors, well, they did not win again for the rest of that season. On May 16th, the Raptors faced off against the Indiana Pacers in that final game of the treacherous season. The starting lineup was Malachi Flynn, Stanley Johnson, DeAndre Bembry, Freddie Gillespie, and Khem Birch. The Raptors did fall in that game, and they fell to 27-45 in their record on the season, and that was the end. We did not have to watch any more of those Tampa season games, and maybe things, they looked bleak, but they really started to come around, especially on July 22nd, when the Raptors landed the 4th overall pick in the draft lottery, despite the likeliest spots being the 8th or 9th pick in the draft. And on July 29th, the Raptors used that 4th overall pick to select Scottie Barnes, to a big host of criticism. But a lot of that criticism quickly disappeared, especially when Scottie Barnes broke out against the Celtics for 25 points and 13 rebounds in his second ever NBA game. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing this shirt, well, on August 4th, we go back a little bit. The Raptors did waive Aaron Baines from the team, and it really felt like a bigger move and more significant move to waive him than it seemed initially, because I guess a lot of what went wrong last season was put on him. He was the scapegoat. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it was kind of something that felt like ushering in a new era. And I think that grew even further when the Raptors drafted Scottie Barnes. I didn't want to touch a lot on the season we're currently in. Wanted to go through a lot of those key events from last season, because what an just crazy year the Toronto Raptors have had. So many significant events happen, and so many of these negative significant events. Obviously, there's some good things as well. The draft lottery, the draft itself, drafting Scottie Barnes, the trade for Gary Trent Jr., who is emerging as a really good player for this team, that Lowry performance. There's so many great things to talk about from this season. Obviously, more of it was bad than good. And the Raptors right now at 14-17 in the midst of a little bit of an outbreak within the team. I think we're going to start to look towards a better future here. We are just consistently getting back right to that 500 mark and just not quite getting up to it, just falling a little bit under it. I think this season is going to be kind of treading water for the Raptors, but I think that we can really explode into the next season. But this season is about getting players to get better. Scottie Barnes consistently getting better. Siakam is looking really good right now. We got Fred VanVleet, who's getting better and should be an all-star this season. I think that is something we can absolutely look forward to. Fred VanVleet should be an all-star this season. OG Anunoby improving when he's healthy. Gary Trent Jr. taking huge, significant steps in his development as an NBA player. Khem Birch really, I think, solidifying himself as a solid center for this team. There's so many great things to talk about for this team as well. And there's so many great storylines that we can look forward to in the future. 2021 is just going to be a year we have to put behind us as Raptors fans, because it was tough. It was really, really tough. There was so many occasions where it was just awful. I mean, that month of March, I don't think that is going to escape my memory quickly. An entire month with only one win for a team with aspirations of being a high playoff seed that season. That was really, really tough. And I'm going to go back to that Rockets game, that absolute rock bottom feeling of losing to the Rockets team who snapped a 19-game losing streak. That was so incredibly difficult. However, there are great things to look forward to. Like I said, Scottie Barnes potentially winning Rookie of the Year. Fred VanVleet potentially being an all-star for the first time in his career, going from undrafted to being an all-star. But the development of this team, it's a really fun team to watch right now when we have everybody healthy, obviously. But when this team is healthy, there are great things to watch and great things to like about this team and great things to anticipate for the future. It's really difficult to kind of look at that right now, but I have a much better feeling right now than I did, before that draft, like right after the season ended. I felt horrible about where this team was possibly going, what we could have selected with the 7th overall pick, because that was the Raptors ranking in terms of lottery odds. So I was looking around the 7th, 8th, or 9th pick. Who could we select? Would that player be able to turn around their team? And then there was the doubt about who they were going to select. Scottie Barnes, was he the right player for us? I think it's clear, even this early into his career, that he is the right player for us. So next year, I think that the Raptors are probably looking like a team is going to be on the outside looking in of the playoffs. I don't think that's necessarily a horrible thing. I'm starting to understand that a play-in spot really isn't as fruitful as a better draft pick, but all of that remains to be seen. Maybe we go on a run when everybody's healthy. Maybe we get back into that contention, because, if we're in a playoff spot, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world for this young group of players, but I would really like to see what it looks like with another player coming into the squad. But trades could happen, draft picks could happen, all of these things, we kind of just have to see how it plays out. But I think after the way we started the year, I'm pretty content with the way that this year ended. I think I'm very happy with the way that this year ended. And I think that we are on the right track, Raptors fans. We're going to revisit this in a year's time and see where we're at. But I think we're going to be much happier in 1 year's time compared to where we are in this current situation, because there are so many great young players, like the best players on this team, like Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam. You want to go them, like they're only 27 years old, and those are like the vets on the team, and they're not even old. So there are great things to look forward to about this team. It is pretty shocking to have your vets be only that old. And the only player above 30 is Goran Dragic, who isn't even really playing for the team at this present situation. So lots of great things on the way. Scottie Barnes is a player this team can build around. There are great pieces around him, great pieces that, if a trade has to happen, and trades are going to happen over the course of a year, they happen every year. I mean, we traded away Kyle Lowry this year. Trades are going to happen, and we'll have to see what this squad looks like in 1 year's time. But it will be a much better situation than I am extremely confident. The Raptors are going to kind of get through this season. They're going to get better. They're going to develop as a team, develop individually, and really spur on into the next seasons. But let's appreciate the good moments that we had from this year, and let's not forget the bad moments that really shaped who we are as fans and who the team is as players and as a unit. What is your favorite memory from 2021 about the Toronto Raptors, and what is your least favorite memory about the team? My least favorite memory is going to be that Rockets game, and my favorite memory about the Raptors probably has to be that Kyle Lowry performance at the Staples Center. What a moment for the greatest Raptor of all time. But that wraps it for me for today. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Please, if you did enjoy, give a like on the video and make sure to subscribe to Amateur Sports. We got some great content coming in for the new year as well. We are not stopping on this channel. 4 videos a week at least, all concerning the Toronto Raptors. Let's hope for some big things for the Raptors and some big things for Amateur Sports. Thank you so much for the support that you have given me over the course of the year. I can't wait to see where this brand goes in the future, and it could not happen without you watching the videos. So thank you so much. We'll see you again next time for another video.